The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Bank Fantasy. They have a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5, $50 of bonus funds. Use the promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome everybody to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is currently Monday morning, August 25th, around 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm Rose Reichel, once again joined by Adam Roseberg. Together, we're going to break down our favorite props for the Monday card. Adam, what's up with you? How was your weekend?
It was okay. We had Nora's birthday party, and it was at like a trampoline park, and it was just a bunch of screaming kids running around. It was fun.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, pretty much. It seemed like we were not in Vegas because we were in Vegas the week before.
We were not. I know that there were a couple of good,
but all of our coworkers were.
Yeah.
So
it seems like if you were in the neighborhood for the contest sign-up weekend, you still had a good time, even though we weren't there. So maybe next year we'll be there. Who knows? But either way, of course, we were there in Vegas the week prior. But hopefully you enjoyed if you were there. If not, maybe next year. But either way, point is looking forward to the props today, of course, to the games today, and we'll go from there. Anything you want to talk about baseball-wise over the weekend that you saw?
Anything I noticed baseball-wise?
Yeah, anything you want to talk about?
Nobody wants that 6th seed in the NL.
Feels that way.
Like every time I look, it's like Mets 5-5 in their last 10, Reds 5-5 in their last 10. Also, we're the Royals, by the way, are quietly sneaking up on that. Seattle's 2-8 in their last 10, and tonight on my show, I will continue to talk about how Cal Raleigh is not the MVP.
We can talk about it. I mean,
I'm going to save that guy. I gave Colby Marchio all his points. Aaron Judge has a OBP that's 83 points higher, and I don't want to hear this stuff on Cal Raleigh. You're allowed to have a career year and not be MVP. But I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that tonight in general. But man, I mean, the Phillies are rolling. Like a lot of the teams that should have been rolling for a while are starting to roll. And Vlad came back as a pinch hitter. That's about it.
Yeah. I know that you're looking at the Blue Jays, who are still up in that division. The Yankees actually beat Boston for once. They lost the series, but they won a game, so I guess that counts for something. You mentioned the Mets. They scored 2 runs against Bryce Elder. Probably not a good sign. If you're going for a wild card spot, you probably have to score more runs than that, but they ended up losing the game to Atlanta. Still won the series either way.
Really bad for our mystery parlay.
Yeah. To be honest,
that was the only leg that didn't hit in a mystery parlay that you didn't know about, and it was 3 ER for him, and like he gave up the 2 on the Vientos. Vientos, I think, hit it right.
The second inning, yeah. Well, Vientos had 3 straight at bats with a home run.
Yeah,
and then they didn't score again, so probably not a good sign. But we'll see what happens in the wild card race moving forward. The Reds, I believe, are either 1 game back or they're a game and a half back. I think they're 1 back right now, so we'll see what happens. There's a question, by the way, from Joe asking if Cal Raleigh was at the Capitol on
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he is that big tush that doesn't really work going through windows and sniding into things. So I don't know if he was able to. I don't think he was there. I think that Dylan Moore was there.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't
surprise me. But either way, a point is, of course, we still have about a month to go in the season. A couple of playoff spots up for grabs. We'll see how those play themselves out. Anyway, before we get into our actual props for the show, a reminder that the Sports Gambling Podcast is giving away a $1,000 Circa NFL future bet with the phrase that pays. Submit the phrase now at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/phrase. And also a reminder, SGPN just launched their NFL Survivor contest. $100 entry, winner take all at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. Anyway, so moving on to the actual props that we have for the Monday card. Same format as always. We have 3 props each. Adam, I'll let you go first as always. What's going to be your first prop on the show?
Okay, so first thing that's on the show is my last one I put in right before why we're late. Cam Schlitter, what is it? Schlitter? He's not Jewish.
Not to be confused with Schindler, but you have Schlittler.
Under 5.5 Ks. I'm absolutely going to fade a guy after he had a near perfect game and went the furthest that he's gone all season against a dead Rays team. Feisty Nats team not a dead Nats team. They're pretty feisty. They still scored runs against the Phillies all weekend. As I'm kind of looking,
and the Mets, they won a series against the Mets.
They did win a series against, but not. They did win a series against the Mets. Let me just see. There's only 3 guys in this lineup. Obviously, James Wood being one of them. James that have K rates that I would classify as bad. James Wood, Brady House, Robert Hassel. But generally speaking, look, Cam's this is a little bit too high. He's probably going to be around 4, maybe like land on 5. While the Nats they did get K'd out the last 3 times against right-handed pitchers. Generally speaking, actually last 2 times it was Nola and Walker. They generally don't strike out a lot. So I just don't, and I haven't really seen put away stuff from Schlittler. So this is a pretty easy one for me. After his best start of his young career, I'm just going to do a light fade. I also like the Nats first 5, just as the Sunday Night Baseball fade for a team.
Yeah, so I took his over strikeouts last start mainly because Tampa was just striking out a ton. So it wasn't really having to do with Schlittler by himself. He has good strikeout stuff. The point is the strikeouts are not really that consistent for him this season. But I think it's matchup dependent as well.
Its whiff rate's pretty low too, so it's not like it's good, not great. You know?
Yeah,
I think that minus 108.
I was going to say 4.5 against the Tampa team that's been striking out a ton, and now it's 5.5 against Washington. It does feel like it's a bit of an overreaction to that great start he had last time out. So I don't mind it since you're selling high after that great showing he had last time out. So for mine, I'm going to go with a couple of strikeout plays, actually. I'm going to start off with the play that might seem a bit stressful because I'm going to back a pitcher who can be underwhelming at times, but I still like the spot. I'll go with JP Sears. I'll take the over 4.5 strikeouts at minus 125. So you're looking at the Mariners. They're a team that strike out a ton. They have the highest K rate in the league against lefties over the past 4 weeks, and they have the 4th highest K rate in the league at home over the past 4 weeks. So Seattle been striking out a ton. I know that Raleigh's home runs are like the shiny object, but the point is they strike out a lot. It's why they've been losing a bunch of games recently. And the fact is, Sears has seen him a lot because he used to pitch for the A's, and he's been good against them in his career. He's had at least 5 strikeouts in 8 of his last 10 starts against Seattle. But 4.5, I think, is a bit low of a number. Sears went under this last time out, but he still won 6 innings. So he's in pretty decent form. But Seattle has been striking out a lot, especially against lefties. I know that we have been talking about the Seattle K rates for the last couple weeks. I'll go back.
But noted MVP candidate Cal Raleigh has a 36% K rate, just in case anyone's wondering. Aaron Judge, by the way,
if he hits a home
Aaron
run,
Judge has a 23% K rate. Just want to, and the league median is 24%. Just gonna
point is, if Raleigh hits a home run but strikes out twice, I'll be fine with it. But the point is, you're looking at Sears, who I think has
call
a
that the
spot
Ohtani
here. Yeah, that's fine. Ohtani's going to probably win MVP in general anyway. But the point is, Sears has a good matchup. It's tough to find a better strikeout matchup than Seattle right now. And he's been good in the head-to-head against Seattle. So give me JP Sears over 4.5 strikeouts at minus 125 as my first prop on the show. Thoughts? I know Sears has kind of burned us before, but Seattle's the team we're targeting. And I know we ended up going for, I think it was Sanchez against Seattle last week, and he struck out like 12 guys. Luzardo, maybe?
They can't hit lefties.
That's what I'm saying. I know that when that series happened, we talked about it, and then Sanchez and Luzardo back-to-back days struck out 12 people. So I think that 4.5 is too low.
Yeah, like Springs really almost got there. It was like, I mean, he held them in check. And I think Sears has better with stuff than like of their last let's see, this season, this is let me just look at it. So they have a 63. Okay, this season, left-handed pitchers have hit their K prop 63% of the time against them, including since July 20. Sears had 6. Springs since July 29th, everyone has done it except for Jeffrey Springs the second time around, and he doesn't have put away stuff anymore. So Sears does. So yeah.
And once again, a reminder: Seattle last 4 weeks, number 1 in the league in K rate against lefties. So there you go. It's my first play. Give me JP Sears over 4.5 strikeouts at minus 125. Moving on to your second favorite prop, Adam. What do you like?
Hang on, I'm just telling somebody that we bet this. Let's see. Okay, my second one I'm gonna go with. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Christopher Sanchez over 1.5 walks. If you have bet 365, this is plus 150. I took it at plus 135 to win a unit. He's actually over in every road game against the Mets. Left-handed pitcher 6-1 to the over walk line against the Mets in the past month. I look, I like Sanchez. He's constantly off masterful performances, but this Mets team, they don't do a lot of things. They don't hit the ball, but they get on base. So give me this. A lot of guys have gone over their walk rate. Anderson, Ray, he had Sanchez, by the way, even in a good start, had 2 against Seattle. This is just kind of a little bit of a bonkers number to me for against the team that I think, is pretty good about this. Let me just take a look also at the walk rates. 1, 2 against left-handed pitchers in the last 30 plate appearances. 1, 2, 3. You got multiple guys. You got 4 guys with elite walk rates against lefties. And again, like I said, Sanchez against the Mets, he has he's done this. He's had problems with this when he's in city. 3 in May of last year, 5 in September of last year, and 2 earlier this year. So give me that. He's obviously like a better at home. We've always seen his home road splits, but generally speaking, I really want to take him to just have 2 walks. He could still do that and do well.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. It does feel like a reasonable number if you want to back the walks prop. Plus, walks have been good to us. So
walks have been good to us. It's also just it's kind of a sell. It's a little bit of a sell high on the Phillies right now. Also just it's a little bit sell high on the Phillies right now. They just had like a really hot homestand. They're kind of rolling right now. They're like 7 or 8 games up. I don't know. We'll talk about it in the other section of the show, but I kind of like the Mets in this series overall, just as I look at who they're going to go against. I'm just looking at.
To be fair, the recent hot streak the Phillies have been on, they faced the Nationals twice.
Exactly, so, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do that against the teams that you're beating. But this is a really good So they also are about to have they're about to have a period where they're going to have 39 games in 41 days. So the rosters don't expand till Monday. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I like with kind of simmering down on some of these guys. Sanchez isn't near his innings limit, but I also don't expect him to go the 17.5. They're throwing Sanchez, Luzardo, and Walker against the Mets this weekend, and it's Senga, Manaya, and McLean, who arguably have been the best. Senga's been terrible. It's a good bounce up spot. So, yeah, let's let's see what the price is. Well, I'll talk about in platonic props, but I like the Mets to win this series. Oh, they're minus 105. So there you go. It's I thought it was gonna be plus money, but it's not.
So I do want to ask you though, for the Phillies moving forward, I know that we talked about it briefly, but I'll ask you about potential future liability with the Phillies. How much do you think the Wheeler injury impacts their ability to win the NL and beyond?
Do
you think it kills them, or do you think they can do it anyway?
No, I think it lowers them. It doesn't lower them like crazy. But look, it's your ace not being able to be there to eat up 7 innings in a game 7 type of thing. So, I think that I would argue that Christopher Sanchez was the best pitcher on their staff this season. You've also gotten a great season out of Ranger Suarez. Nola is on low innings and looked better in his way better in his second start. He's always had long ball problems, but he looked way better in his second start.
Yeah.
The problem that they're going to have is that their bullpen's really set and they really need to chill everybody innings wise. So no one's running away with it, but they're probably going to have to call somebody up to do be a 6th starter and do that type of thing. So, I think that this kind of thing, overall thing, is going to kind of live and die by how Aaron Nola does. Like if Aaron Nola like returns to like what he usually is in September and October form, which is pretty good, then they're going to be fine. But but you also, the biggest issue that I see is 3 straight is what are you going to do? You have Nola and like 3 straight lefties in the playoffs. That's the bigger problem that I see, is that you can't do that. That you can't have a playoff rotation that's super lefty heavy. You end up not being able to play the matchups well.
Yeah. Once again, I'm not going to write off Philly entirely because I like that team in general, but the Wheeler injury is devastating. I mean, we know what
I don't think
Wheeler is.
I don't think it's devastating. I wouldn't call it devastating.
I think when you factor in how good Wheeler is, and you're mentioning the lefty heavy rotation, I mean, Wheeler is one of the more reliable righties in the league.
Yeah, but it becomes a matchup issue. Like, I don't know where people are getting like anything about like Wheeler being incredible in the playoffs. Like he kind of crippled them with like very.
For the playoffs, no. I just mean in general, the amount of innings he can eat, he does take the stress off a lot of the rest of the rotation.
But the one benefit that they have is that this team is so deep on pitching, and nobody is anywhere near their innings limits this year. Yeah. The idea, like, so this has all been calculated that if the team doesn't hit, it's not going to matter. But
they can also potentially cruise in the last couple weeks to save the innings for their starters if the Mets keep falling behind and if the Phillies coast to a division title with a week or so to go.
The rosters expand on Monday, and I think they're going to end up calling somebody up. They might call up Painter just to have a chance and eat some innings for them. I think it's not a bad idea either. He hasn't been great in AAA. He's still like the number 2 best pitching prospect in baseball.
And still, you give him some experience. If
he gets to work with Realmuto. Yeah, he gets to have Realmuto work with him, which I think is great. It gives him really good experience. So anyway, yeah, I get it. I don't think this team has been so deep pitching wise and been built that way. Would I prefer it had been with a lefty? Yeah. But, I think that there's ways you can piggyback some things. I don't think Taijuan Walker's starting a playoff game.
Do you think he's in the bullpen for the playoffs?
I think they're going to stack him. They're going to do like some sort of stacking of him of like a super bullpen game. And they just have to figure out how that works.
I guess what I'm wondering, though, is for a playoff series, now that Wheeler's done, what would be your order and why? Because I'm assuming Sanchez is obviously going to be a Game 1 starter. Game 2, maybe, I mean, you think it'd be Suarez, but in reality, in theory,
I'd probably do
Nola. It could be Nola if you want to go lefty, righty, lefty.
I think I may do Nola Game 1 starter, and I would do Nola, Sanchez, Ranger. I mean, here's the thing.
So why would you go Nola Game 1?
Because he's done it before.
Okay. So you just ignore the entire season stats and just go with historical,
Because he's always been better later in the season, and he's always been and he was injured for most of the year, and now he's on low innings. And his velo is not down. So I would do that, and then I would probably the thing is like you're not really gonna need a third. You don't.
I was saying basically what I'm asking is, do you think they go 3-man or 4-man rotation in the playoff series?
You don't need a 4-man till LCS.
But I'm saying who would be your hypothetical 4? Because of course you have Suarez being your 3 there. So who would be your 4?
I would do either. I mean, depending on what the series, I'd probably do either him or Luzardo. They're not going to name them like that because Luzardo throws harder. But like, here's the thing. I'll tell you what I don't want. I don't want Suarez to go against the Brewers, because the Brewers are a soft contact hitting team.
I think the point I'm trying to make, though, is with Wheeler being down, you have to use Suarez against Milwaukee because your 4 starters are going to be Sanchez, Nola, Suarez, and Luzardo.
Right, but I would do Luzardo before I do Suarez against Milwaukee specifically because it's a harder throwing, like it's a guy who throws 98 versus a guy who throws 85.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is Suarez your 3 or is he your 4?
He's your 3 or your 4 depending on the matchup. If it's against the Dodgers, you're rolling out. You could absolutely roll out all lefties. Like I see Jermaine saying you can't go back-to-back lefties. You totally can, though.
You don't have a choice, though, because right now, Philly's 3 out of their 4 starters for a hypothetical 4-man playoff rotation are lefties. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, but which the Dodgers don't hit very well. The Dodgers
can't. That's also why Nola wouldn't go Game 1 because your other 3 starters are lefties.
Right. So. But I think that, I think that a home, like you also got to, you also have to work it around how people's splits are. Like the reality is that you want it's going to be a home playoff game, you want.
I was going to say some of it come down to home road splits.
Yeah.
Like if you have a pitcher that's good at home, bad on the road, he's going to be pitching.
And Sanchez, by the way, has been fine on the road. He hasn't been, like last year. His splits were way worse. He hasn't been.
Sanchez is probably too good to wait till the back.
Suarez has been fantastic on the road.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, and like Luzardo's obviously never pitched a playoff game.
Yeah.
So, but you do it that way. Walker, the thing about Walker is that he's only going to go through the order maybe 2 times.
Yeah.
And
Walker, in my opinion, is like one of the guys out of the bullpen in case of emergency.
Yeah. And then you have to basically find another righty arm to go after him. You can't go a bullpen game where you go righty and then lefty, or lefty then righty. It just doesn't, you've kind of killed what your matchups were to begin the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't totally know, but I think that you, I mean, it basically comes down to this. Who do you want to pitch your game 7?
I think it would have to be Sanchez.
Right. So I think, in the NLCS, well, they wouldn't have home field advantage in the NLCS anyway. So it works out. So Sanchez would.
You never know. Weird things can happen.
But yeah, I think you don't necessarily. It's not like a lineup where you have to stack it, where you have to go back and forth. But like you can't underestimate Nola like having really solid experience.
I think Walker would be attached to Nola or Luzardo, and if either of them struggle, that's your backup option.
I think that you probably. It's gonna be creative and matchup dependent, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think Nola. It's kind of hard for me to not see Nola starting game 1 of the playoffs if he's back in form.
Once again, that's a big if, but I agree with you.
But I just think that like I'll take Aaron Nola, who has the entire body of work of Aaron Nola has been fantastic.
Yeah, he's been one of the more reliable righties in the league for the last couple of years.
This is the first time he ever has been injured in his entire career. Like, it's the stuff about Zach Wheeler. It's the second time he's been injured in 10 years.
It's also one of the first times Nola's been bad in his career because he's
bad.
a solid starter. So.
Right. And so, so I think that, like, game 7, and to Jermaine's point, like, I get that Sanchez would be, like, maybe the game 7, but, like, I kind of want Nola in that. And the reality
is fine. I just think Sanchez is clearly the best pitcher, so I'd assume you'd maybe just want him there for the sake of being really good. Yeah. That's kind of my point.
It's just, but that's another thing is that, like, the thing with Sanchez's stuff is so filthy. He's such an interesting pitcher,
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have, like Nola can throw 98.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But I wanted to bring it up just because I thought it was a pretty interesting conversation to have because Philly, whether they win the division or not, should make the playoffs, and that can open up some doors to an interesting rotation conversation because they are very lefty-heavy now in their rotation. So I wanted to ask you about it because, of course, you're the Phillies fan around here. So anyway, before we get into my second prop on the show, a reminder that we are brought to you by our sponsor, which is MyBookie.ag. Whose bookie?
Our bookie.
Yeah, so MyBookie is a place for every sport. They have the baseball cards, they have WNBA, they have tennis for the U.S. Open, they have golf, and of course football futures. You can also use crypto for deposits and payouts. When you sign up for a new account, use the code SGPN. They got a 50% deposit match up to 1K. Terms and conditions apply with the G promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm because they have a lot of great options for either smart signals. They have a lot of models you can build for different sports. They have baseball, college football. They have NFL. They have a bunch of different, once again, prop options as well. So if you want to check out some NFL stuff, last year they were great for particular players. They were 15-8 on Josh Allen player props, 23% ROI. Check out the different sports, though. You can also build your model starting today for the NFL for week 1. And a reminder, we have a free week trial by using the promo link with Rhythm. Use the link, sportsgamblingbox.com Rhythm, to get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finish going through the first couple props that we have for the card on Monday. Time to move on into my second prop for the show. So, coincidentally, I'm going to a strikeout prop in the same game. I gave out JP Sears before. I'm going to go with Bryce Miller in this one. Give me the under 3.5 strikeouts. I found minus 105. I like the price. Miller has not been good all season. Came back recently. He's also not been good. He's had less than 4 strikeouts in 4 of his last 5 starts, and unlike the Mariners, the Padres have been the polar opposite. They are really good at not striking out so far this season, especially lately. Over the past 3 weeks, the Padres have the lowest K rate in the league, and over the past 4 weeks, the Padres have the lowest K rate on the road. So despite being amazing in Petco and being worse on the road, the strikeout numbers, though, are impressively low on both ends overall and on the road over the last month or so. Miller also faced the Padres last year. He went 6 innings, only struck out one guy. So I do think that 3.5 actually sounds kind of high for a guy whose outs prop is juiced towards the under on 15.5, a guy who's been objectively poor so far this season. And once again, the Padres are amazing and not striking out. So give me San Diego to limit the whiffs against Miller. Good enough for me. Give me Bryce Miller under 3.5 Ks at -105. Thoughts?
I don't like Bryce Miller.
Yeah, I don't think he's any good. So
So
we'll see if he gets shelled or not. But San Diego's been good at avoiding strikeouts.
By the way, that's another knock that everybody wants to do of like, oh, like Cal Raleigh and he's a catcher and he does this. Like probably the most important thing that a catcher does is manage a staff. I just want to manage everyone's expectation. Seattle's pitching staff is 20th in the league in WAR.
You can make the argument that it's drastically underachieved based on preseason.
Drastically underachieved. And so I don't want to hear crap about, well, he's been so great with that pitching staff. Like, give me a break.
That was supposed to be the calling card of the team, too.
I agree. I had Bryce Miller whip leader.
Yeah. Whip leader is in you were hoping for low numbers, to be clear, not high numbers.
But. Yeah, he was like 5th last year. And like I had Shota too, which I thought was dead, and he's actually 3rd, but he's not gonna have enough starts.
Yeah. So RIP to Shota. But point is
great though, but
San Diego, I ended up backing last time out because I actually faded Blake Snell on his strikeouts, and that got there. Snell went 7 innings. He still only struck out 5. But I think it's a good spot to fade Miller. So I'll go with actually a couple of strikeout props in the same game for my first 2 props on the show. Moving on, though, to your third player prop. What do you like?
I like so DeGrom comes back today on extended rest because they pushed the start back. And he gets to go against the Angels, who it's not an error if you're looking in handigraphs. Every single batter stinks. It's comically bad K rates. Led by Logan O'Hop, who has 43% K rating against righties over his last 30 plate appearances. 2 Ks plus 140. We're taking it. Not even thinking about this one.
Yeah. Once again, I actually thought about going with that play too, but decided not to. I wanted to see
I texted it to you last night and said I was doing it.
No. The truth is that I kind of wanted to see how DeGrom would look with the long layoff first. I didn't want to just jump in with both feet, but
I mean, I don't like any of the other stuff for him, because they're out of it.
My concern was that DeGrom only went 5 innings last time out, so I'm wondering how far he's going to actually go. The Rangers are out of it, so they might just potentially pull DeGrom after 5 to keep his arm intact. So that's kind of why I stay away from it, but it's a great matchup. I mean, there's no way around it.
It's also, he's striking out to everybody. It doesn't even really matter. It's not even going to matter. But, and so that's why, for this stuff, I'd rather play the individual K matchups than worry about, how deep DeGrom's going to go. Though I do think he goes 6. I don't, that being, he's kind of a gamer in that sense, and he's ruthlessly efficient. But this felt like the best play on the board in that game.
Yeah. And what was the price you said again?
Plus 140.
Okay. So a good price in general, so I can get behind it. Moving on to my final prop for the card. Not going to go with the strikeout prop. I'm going to go with a singles play, actually. Give me Bryce Terang. I'll take the over half a single at -105. He's had a single in 9 straight. We know that Terang had the power surge. That has officially ended. He's back to being a singles guy, as he should be. And it's a good matchup. Erod's pitching. He's been better lately, but you know my thoughts on Erod. He is not very good. Now, Terang, as a lefty, has actually been better against lefties, batting average-wise. 291 batting average against lefties this season. So I just think it's a good matchup here against Erod. And you're looking at his numbers against Erod lifetime. They are quite good. He's 3 for 5 with 3 singles. So give me a classic Terang single. Good enough for me. I like the matchup. I like the spot. He's had a single in 9 straight. Give me Terang single at -105. So that's my last player prop there. I know that you don't need another reason to fade Erod, but if you want to pile on, you're welcome to.
Oh, he stinks.
Yeah, that's all I have to say, pretty much.
I see Joe in the chat saying, do I think DeGrom has dead arm? No, I don't. I just think that they are paying him a lot of money. They have him for another couple of years, and they've been very careful with him and calculating
as they should be, to be clear.
As they should be, and I think that it's worked, so they're not going to stop doing that.
Yeah, I do think though, if DeGrom has another shoulder concern, or he ends up being sore again, they might shut him down for potentially September.
Probably the rest of it, yeah.
Because they're way out of it. There's no point.
It's funny, they're not way out of it. They're only 4 games out, but they're not doing it.
They're only 4 games out?
Yeah.
I actually want to see the standings. I didn't realize they were
the Royals are like a game and a half out now.
Well, the Royals are over 500. The Rangers aren't. So that I can understand. Yeah, they're 4.5 out.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize that they were still close. I thought they're actually at 500, but yeah, we'll see. They haven't been trending well, obviously. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll put it this way. DeGrom's lasted a lot longer than I thought he would this season. And that has been a success for Texas. They haven't had many successes. The DeGrom experiment has been a success. So we'll see. But I do think if he gets sore one more time, they're shutting him down. That's kind of where I'm at for this.
Yep.
But
you gotta also remember, guys, when rosters expand, everybody starts to have like another guy who can come in and do that. It's very like right now, Phillies can't. Right now, Rangers can't.
Yeah.
Or they'd have to DFA guys. And
worst case is you call up the young guy and you hope for the best.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. See a question from Jay Ditch, though, asking about Hunter Green strikeouts today, or anybody on the Dodgers you want to target for strikeouts.
Well,
this can segue into the miscellaneous section, but
do we want to do that? Here, we can do that. Let's see. All right, so Hunter Green, man, Hunter Green's so good. This Reds team, I'm telling you, if you haven't already bet them for the 6th seed, do it, or bet them actually to make the LCS, because whoever gets that 6th seed, I feel like is going to make a run.
And right now, they are officially 1.5 back.
Yeah, we have them. We have the Mets at 7-1 for the 6th seed, and we have the Reds at plus 350 to make the playoffs. So either way, I feel good.
Yeah. So to update, by the way, the AL and NL wildcard races, because why not? AL, you have the Red Sox, you have the Yankees, who are half a game behind the Red Sox, and then you have Seattle, and then behind them by 3 games are the Royals. Now for the NL, you have the Cubs, who are 6.5 clear of the final spot, so the Cubs should be fine. Dodgers and Padres are tied. Of course, one of them will win the division. And then you have the Mets, who are a game and a half ahead of the Reds. So that's the updated standings for the wild card there. But you like Green in the spot, or you think that his strikeout prop's a bit high?
What's his prop?
So I thought you had that in front of you.
No.
I'm pulling it up right now for Green. Sorry. I want to say it's at 7.5, but I want to just confirm what it's going to be at here. So Green strikeouts are at 6.5. 6.5. The under's even money. The over is minus 120.
Don't hate it. I like. Let me see though. I'd rather look at. I'm just looking at a couple other things here. So like Hunter Green. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Teoscar Hernandez has been terrible against righties lately. If we're looking at somebody, and Freddie Freeman has 4 Ks in his last.
Teoscar is probably who I'd go after.
Teoscar is who I would. Yeah, I would go with Teoscar. I would do Teoscar 2 Ks.
Yeah. So there you go.
He's just. I mean, the thing is that he's just like he's K'ing the farm right now. So it's
he had a home run like a couple games.
He has a 33% K rate.
That's basically it. He's kind of been a home run or bust guy recently. Yeah. So I don't mind.
I would do that, and I would maybe do or if you really want a good pivot, sneaky good one is also Conforto no hits.
Yeah, I can get behind that too because he might get lifted.
Yeah.
In that game. So Conforto is actually one of my honorable mentions to not get a hit. For the
I have my other one that I'm going to end up probably doing. I have I like Julio to maybe not get a hit, but we'll see. I like Alonso K's.
Okay.
Or Kane first plate appearance against Sanchez, and I like Langoliers K's. He's been whiffing like crazy.
That's fine when you hit a home run quite frequently a week or two ago. Eventually, when regression happens, you're going to strike out a ton. Shout out to Montgomery, by the way. As soon as he stops hitting home runs, it's going to be a disgusting stretch for Montgomery, who has an on-base percentage of like 288. So he's going to strike out a ton. Keep an eye out for Montgomery, 2+ strikeouts moving forward there for the White Sox. Anyway, point is, any platonic props you want to share in the miscellaneous section?
I like a lot of guys to K out today. Like Logan O'Hoppe, I already mentioned. I like Pete Alonso to K a lot. I like Julio to K a lot. I like I'm really focused on Ks right now. So let me just see. And that's batter Ks. Let's just kind of. So guys who really stink right now. Oh, dude, I feel like got to go back to Gabriel Arias, dude. This guy stinks right now. He's been a machine cashing us 2 Ks a game. He's got a 56% K rate over his last 5 games. Ryan McMahon has a 53% K rate. Ryan McMahon is a solid candidate for no hit today.
I do enjoy the jokes, though, from Yankees fans. Like, damn, McMahon's been really bad at the plate lately. I'm like, no, he's just a bad hitter.
He's just bad.
They brought him in for defense. That we knew he couldn't hit.
And then I think I like Nick Allen no hit.
Okay. So, there you go. Those are some miscellaneous props there. See a question from Adam. I don't want to turn this into a really long episode, but I see Adam in the comment section asking about touts on Twitter charging for picks. I mean, you know my thoughts. I roast them whenever they stink. So, it's fine. I give out picks for free. Adam gives out picks for free. At the end of the day, there are a lot of cappers out there. Some who give out picks that charge for them that are actually potentially profitable. I'm not willing to find out because you can find enough good free resources out there on social media. So, yeah, once again, you have enough choices to actually find free cappers to actually trust here. But my thoughts on touts are that they tend to lose a lot of money. They'll fake results, and they'll tend to really help you plummet through your entire bankroll. So that's why I tweet about them a lot. Because it's
also just math-wise, it doesn't totally work because your break-even percentage ends up having to be higher if you're paying.
Because you're charging for the actual. Correct. Yeah. So once again, that's my thoughts on touts. Most of them on Twitter are really, really bad.
Like, that's the thing. I would rather give out free stuff, in which case I lose sometimes I lose a lot. Sorry, guys. You guys know when I lose, and you guys know when I win, and it's fine. And it goes up and down, and that's what happens. More often than not, we win, which is all that matters. But it's also free. I would that's the problem is that if I lost and I was charging, you would be in the hole deeper.
Correct, because you're charging just to even get access to picks in the first play.
Yeah.
So every play you take, you're basically laying extra juice.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, just something I'm mentioning, because of course you're going to see a bunch of touts and stuff on Twitter bragging about parlays. They're not going to show you the 30 parlays they lost that night. Keep that in mind. A lot of the home run long shots you see, they'll only post the one that wins and they'll ignore the 30 that lose. That's how they hit parlays, by the way. You send out 30, whichever one wins, you repeat on the reposting, etc., and you ignore all the ones that lose. So
they also shockingly, when they put out those, seem to cut off the amount at the bottom that's being risked, which I don't know. Like, no one cares about what that is.
No, but that goes to my point.
But then it magically shows up when it wins.
No, that's also part of my point, is that when you're putting in 30 home run parlays in one day, it's a lot easier to do when you're betting $1 on each of them, and then you don't show the actual amount, and then you could manipulate with some Photoshop, etc. So a lot of shady practices, keep that in mind, but a lot of gullible people out there. So keep that in mind as well. A lot of the money that they're risking, or quote-unquote risking, for these home run parlays or these long shots are the actual Discord payment fees in order to join it. So they're using your money to gamble. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I can go on for a long time about Discord stuff, paid Discords, but I tend to have fun roasting the bad ones. So that's kind of how I go about it. But anything else you want to talk about, or should we just move on into the best bets?
We can move on into the best bets.
By the way, I see Jermaine asking about the Schlittler play. It was the under strikeouts. That was his play at 5.5. Anyway, before we get into the actual...
What was he saying? Hold on, what was he saying? I was putting up underdog for us.
You're saying for a Schlittler, what you like, and I was saying it was the under strikeouts.
Under strikeouts. I think that's the best way, even because he didn't have a high pitch count last game. So there's a lot of other things can happen, but the easiest thing to fade is how he hasn't had that same swing and miss stuff. So
yeah, but either way, point is that's going to wrap it up for our actual props. Time to move on into the best bets of the underdog entry. Before getting into that, though, reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Underdog Fantasy. They're doing WrestleMania happening all summer long. 15 million prize in first place, 2 million for first place. So 15 million prizes overall, 2 million for first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. And a reminder, you can also use Underdog for pick'em entries. You have to 500 times your entry. We'll give out one after this ad read. A reminder, you can also check out the new offer that Underdog has. Brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5, $50 in bonus funds. Use the promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Circa, because they have a lot of great contests coming up for the NFL season. The Circa Million, Circa Survivor, Circa Rendissimo, over $20 million, guaranteed prizes. And a reminder, you can also sign up in Nevada, play for North with the help of our proxy at footballcontest.com. Use code SGP, get $50 off your proxy fees. Contest does close on Saturday, September 3rd, so get it now before the time to sign up expires. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finish going through our props for the Monday card. Time to move on into our best bets. Adam, what is your best bet for the show today?
Logan O'Hop 2Ks.
Okay. So you're going to go with the Hoppy 2Ks. What's the strikeout on that for the price?
Still plus 140.
Plus 140. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So for mine, I liked all my plays. I think I'm going to go with Sears. No, because usually you have a couple plays or a play that you like more than the others. I actually kind of liked all mine equally. I'm going to go with Sears at 4.5 Ks. I'll just fade Seattle strikeout-wise. We did it with Luzardo. I know that Sanchez was the same story. They strike out all the time against lefties. Sears going over this number in 8 of his last 10 against Seattle. Seattle's number 1 in K rate against lefties over the past 4 weeks. I like the spot a lot. Give me Sears over 4.5 strikeouts as my best bet for the show. So for underdog, Adam, what do you like for some underdog stuff?
Hold on.
Just wondering.
1 second. This is the other opposite of cleared. Okay, let me look. I think we should take Sanchez under his outs.
Okay, that's a contrarian play.
It is a contrarian play. To me, it's just like there's a couple guys I just would want to sell high on right now, and I think and he's one of them.
That's fine.
Do
you prefer going for the outs under, or do you prefer going for the walks over?
I'll go with. I don't want to double down on the
okay.
I'd rather do that. I'd rather do the and against the
So not the ER though. You just want the outs.
His head-to-head, he's only gone over his outs line once against the Mets.
But what's his ER? What's his ER been against the Mets? I'm wondering if you want the ER instead of the outs. It's probably a 1.5 because he's been. Really good. I'm just trying to think if there's a world where he actually goes under the outs while giving up 1 run or less.
So here's what I think. I don't think he goes 6.
Okay.
So if we move this down to the 17.5, under 17.5,
yeah,
which is what I think, he's only gone over 17 once in 5 starts against the Mets. They've seen him a billion times. Then it's 1.26. If we do higher on the earned runs, it's 0.82, and if we do lower on the default of 18.5, it's 0.76.
Sure, we'll go for the.
I want to do the R, is what I'm saying.
We'll go for the 17.5. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So I like that as one of the plays.
Okay, that's fine.
The other stuff that I'd circled, I like a Julio fade.
Okay. I mean, you said you don't think he gets a hit, so do you want to play safe and go with the HRR?
Let's do the lower 1.5 bases actually.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool. What else? Give me now. You can give me something.
Well, I mentioned the 3 that I like. I don't know if you want to recycle any of those.
No,
but what else? Do you want to do McMahon no hits? Yeah. No, Conforto. We'll do Conforto.
Okay, that's a good one.
Because I think he'll get lifted at some point.
I do too. Okay. So we have Christopher Sanchez, lower 17.5 pitching outs. Julio Rodriguez, lower 1.5 total bases. Michael Conforto, lower 0.5 total bases. 7.56 payout.
Yeah, not bad.
All right. I'm going to push play on this one.
All right, cool. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for the show. We'll be back once again for the prop show on Wednesday. I'll be back later on today to get into the Tuesday games. Until next time, find me on Twitter, Radio. Find him on Twitter.